today here at the Kingston Center. So I want to thank you all for coming. I really appreciate the work it took to get here today. So you did the pre-intake interview already, and I have here some of your answers. So some of the questions are already filled out, and I'm going to give you a list of the other questions that we're going to ask, just so there's no surprises, so everybody understands what we're going to be doing. All right, so I made a copy for everybody. All right, so how's everybody doing today?
Oh, good. Great. Good.
All right, so why do we think that we're here today?
Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't understand why. Everything's fine.
Okay.
Are you kidding me, Alice? I mean, these kids don't even listen to us.
Bert's too controlling, trying to make me something I'm not.
I don't know. I don't really care. This whole thing's pretty stupid.
So, Allie, I hear that you feel Bert is controlling you. Can you explain that a little bit more for me?
He won't let me do what I want to do. I'm 15 and can date who I want. I don't care if it hurts him. He hurts me.
How would you believe that he's hurt you?
He doesn't trust me at all. He judges me and makes assumptions about what I do with my friends and boyfriend. He thinks I'm a slut and that I do drugs all the time. He screams and pushes me around and never lets me be myself. He is too controlling. He is no better than my real dad.
Bert, how do you respond to the fact that Allie feels this way?
Well, Allie is way too immature to make her own decisions, and she surrounds herself with bad people. She goes out in the middle of the night. She gets into trouble all the time. I see the way you dress. I see the way that she dresses. And she hangs out with She hangs out with the wrong people. And I swear she's just hanging out with these people just to piss me off. And I have never hurt her. I have never hurt you, not like your father has, ever.
Allie, do you feel that what Bert says has any truth to it?
No, he hasn't met any of my friends. He only saw me with my one boyfriend and flipped out because he's First Nation. He is a racist pig.
Bert, how do you feel about being called racist?
I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist pig. Alice, you can attest to that. I, however, do think that everyone knows what these natives do. I just don't particularly like them, and I do not want my stepdaughter dating a native or black person.
Allie, can you tell me more about this boy?
He's great. He's on honor roll in school and doesn't believe in sex before marriage, so he doesn't pressure me into sex like the other jerks in our high school.
Well, he seems like a nice boy, but Bert, I do understand your typical fatherly worries about a teenage daughter and dating. Allie, can you tell me a little bit more of your other friends?
Sure, they're a lot of fun. We spend most of our time just walking around, hanging out. Sometimes we go to the park and hang out and just joke around.
Okay, so what about your parents' concerns in regards to the drug use with your friends?
Well, yeah, some of them do use drugs. Really just alcohol and pot, though. They have nothing to worry about, though. I tried pot once and hated it. I had no interest in doing that. Same with alcohol. I like to stay in control of my own mind. I just wish my parents would trust me more.
Alice, how do you feel about the relationship between Bert and Allie?
Well, it makes me really upset that they argue all the time, but I hope one day that they'll work it out. I don't always agree with the way that Bert talks to Allie or treats Allie, but also at the same time, I don't always agree with the way that Allie's been acting, and maybe if he helped me around the house more, the focus would be off of Allie and he wouldn't worry so much about her.
How do you think that would help out the relationship?
Well, I think he's really stressed out trying to be the typical male provider, and having help out more at the house will take the focus away from Allie, and she's just a teenager, you know. We've all done stupid things.
Can you explain a little bit more about the provider piece you mentioned?
Well, Bert has really been struggling in the past in terms of employment. He's only recently gotten a job, and it's not that we're not the most well-off family. We do have financial difficulties.
Okay. Paul, we haven't heard from you yet. How do you feel about the relationships in your family?
I don't know. Really all depends, I guess. Sometimes they really piss me off and I get really mad and I can't control myself. Other times it's good.
So can you explain that a little bit more? Like what makes it different between the good and the bad times?
When they stay off my case, things are good.
Paul, why do you have this?
And when they don't, that's when things are bad.
Bert, why do you feel that your parenting approach is best for Paul and Allie?
Sorry, I'm just really frustrated with Paul right now. They don't listen to me, and this is just how things go, and you know, I grew up that way, and that's how my parents did things. Someone's got to teach them how to behave.
Can you tell me a little bit more about growing up in your home? How were your relationships with your parents?
Well, my father and I, we didn't get along well, and it was the same with my mom. He was just really controlling and aggressive, and my mom, she had a nervous breakdown, and she left us, and I had to live with another family because, you know, my family didn't really care for me anymore.
So what I'm hearing is that your father implemented a real authoritarian and aggressive parenting style, and it really negatively affected your relationship.
Yeah, basically.
So making a connection, do you feel in any way that using a similar parenting style to your father with Paul and Allie will negatively affect your relationship with them and maybe even your wife?
Well, yeah, I guess so, but I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Like, Alice doesn't do anything. She doesn't consequence at all. You don't take a single stance on anything.
Alice, you mentioned earlier that you don't always agree with Bert's parenting style. So what parenting style do you believe to be most effective?
Well, you know, Adam, I just want everyone to get along and accept each other for who they are. We've all made mistakes in the past. It doesn't mean you need to disown someone.
So would you then say you like a parenting style where you let the children make all of their own decisions?
Yeah, I think that would be best.
Would best or easiest?
Easiest, I guess, but I still worry that my kids are going to get in trouble.
Okay, that's definitely a common worry between you and Bert then. But with having such different parenting views, that must be really affecting your relationship and tough to deal with.
Well, you know, it's just like any other couple. We have good days, we have bad days.
So would you say more good days or would you say more bad days? Equal amounts of both?
Well, I guess Bert, you know, I guess you can say we have more bad days.
So what do you think about this, Bert?
You know what, I agree with Alice on this. I mean, we don't always get along with what's best for our children, but at the same time, I mean, she doesn't really say anything at all usually, and then after whatever I plan on doing or whatever I implement, she just argues with me after the situation.
Okay. So Paul, seems that Mom and Bert have very different views of parenting. I'd like to get a little bit of your input. How do you feel you should be raised in consequence?
Well, it's super annoying. When I do something bad, when he's home, he gets really mad at me and yells and he's really angry, and that just makes me more mad. And then when she's around, she doesn't really do anything. She kind of just asks me nicely not to ever do something bad again.
So it sounds like you want a little bit of consistency and stability in your life. So which parenting style do you prefer? Do you want the authoritarian one, like Bert, or the laissez-faire one, like your mother?
Neither of the styles are working. He just makes me even more angry, and with Mom, I know that I can get away with pretty much anything. Oh yeah, by the way, I hate how much he yells at everyone. He yells at me, he yells at Mom, he yells at her.
Allie, how do you feel about this? Do you agree with Paul?
I do agree that Bert's too controlling, and Mom doesn't say much. I prefer to be able to make my own decisions. I'm old enough to do that now.
At your age, it is very important to feel as if you have some independence. How do you feel at school?
I like it because I get away from my family and I can hang out with who I want, especially my boyfriend.
Okay, so I do see here that it was mentioned that you have been diagnosed with a learning disorder and an anxiety disorder, and that you had a brief hospital stay. How, if at all, is that affecting you at school and at home?
Well, at school, I'm getting the support I need. I don't really have any issues there. I have a ton of friends. I guess they could say I'm pretty popular. I'm on the cheerleading team too. But at home, it's not really the same. I just can't handle it. I'm always anxious. I stay out late just so I don't have to be at home around all my family. I don't care if it gets me in trouble.
So it sounds like being at home is pretty tough for you.
Yeah, it is.
How about you, Paul? How do you like school?
It's okay, I guess.
Just okay?
Well, I mean, I like my teachers. At least they all treat me the same, and I know what to expect from my teachers. The kids, though, they bug me sometimes.
How do they bug you?
They're always saying things about my family, and it makes me really mad. They make fun of me for not having very much money, and I don't know, sometimes I don't know.
No, it's okay, Paul. What were you about to say?
Sometimes I take money from them and pretend it's mine so that they can't call me poor anymore.
So that must be pretty tough dealing with the name calling. What about home, Paul? I see here that you burned one of your mother's dresses one time.
I don't really know why I did that. I like fire. It just does what it wants. It dances and it moves around. It's free.
All right. So I just want to recap a little bit on what we've discussed so far, so to make sure I got it all down and I didn't miss anything. Paul and Allie, you feel as if your mom and Bert are not treating you well, and you wish there'd be a little bit more consistency and a little bit more freedom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Bert and Alice, you both feel as if Paul and Allie need a little bit of guidance, right? And that they don't respect your authority, especially you, Bert.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay. And also, you're having some different views of parenting, and this seems to be affecting your relationship with each other as well as the kids, and you don't talk about the issues. Working out.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Okay, so I want to hear from each of you then. What do you hope to get from working with us here? Paul, you can start.
I just wish that Mom and Bert would choose one parenting style and stick to it, and I wish all the fighting and yelling would stop.
Okay. Allie?
I want more freedom, and I want Bert to stop disrespecting me.
Okay. Alice?
Well, I want Bert and I to work together and deal with our issues that we have at the home.
And Bert?
Yeah, I guess I too would like to work together with Alice, and also for the kids to start respecting me as their parent now.
So from what I have heard today, I believe the issues in the home life, especially in terms of effective communication between every one of you, it's really impacting you all negatively, both inside and outside of the home. What kind of goals do you think we can set then to work together in future sessions?
Well, maybe we all just need to learn how to talk to one another and not get to the point where we're yelling
That's
and
an
arguing. But
That's an excellent goal. Anything else?
Maybe Mom and Bert can figure out some different ways of parenting so that we don't fight as often.
Another excellent idea. Okay, so we have 2 goals now then. So 1, we're going to learn to communicate a little bit better. 2, we're going to explore some different parenting styles to see what really works for the kids. Can we all agree that these are some goals that we want to work on?
Yes.
yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay, fantastic. Again, I just want to thank you all for coming today. I really appreciate all the work you've done, and I think we've got a really good head start here. So, and we have a clear plan on where we want to go. So if you guys follow me up to the receptionist, we'll book another appointment, and so when we know when to meet next, okay? All right, follow me.
My head is a box filled with nothing, and that's the way I like it. My garden's a secret compartment, and that's the way I like it. And that's the way I like it. Your body